2.
Jason.
And this is Bibi.
Yeah. Okay. So today we are talking about private property market trend.
Yes.
The previous vlog we have talked about HDB market trend. So it's different. Private property includes like landed, condo, etc. etc. I don't know what else. Okay.
But specifically today we are talking about non-landed private.
Yes. Non-landed. So it's condominium, right? Okay.
Correct.
So first, he's gonna start with property cycle for over the past 3 years. Yeah. So carry on.
Okay. So today, the last video we talked a little bit about the supply and demand of the HDB market, and comparatively, we are now talking about private, right? So first of all, we need to understand how Singapore's property cycle is like. Typically, it takes about 3 years before it shifts. So, and up to 7 years for it to complete a cycle. So what do I mean by that? Which means that if let's say a property market is all the way at the down low, right? In 3 years time, it probably recovers, and then by 7 years, it will reach another bottom again. Right? Similarly, if we are at the high of the market, 3 years later, it probably drop a little bit, and then after in 7 years, you recover, right? And 2 points to note is that the new low is always higher than the old low. So the previous low in the property cycle, right, versus the current low in the property cycle will always be higher. Similarly, a new high will always be higher than the previous high. And that's the reason why you see the property cycle generally trends upwards. Alright? So this property cycle is very important for people that are investors as well as homeowners, right? To really, because everyone knows that you have to purchase property at a low and sell at a high. But how do you know that? It's using the property cycle. Okay? Typically in the past, a property cycle takes about 7 years, right? With the recent cooling measures, right? We are seeing something different now. Because in the past, we have always seen every 7 years it goes 1 cycle, 2 cycles, so it's very easy to predict. Right, but this has, even in safe Singapore, it has a lot of volatility. That means that when property market go up and down, suddenly it will come down. Right, because and it's within these 7 years. So it's very dangerous if you enter at the wrong time. For example, I have a number of clients that actually bought private condominium, which is supposedly great investments, right? Good products, great facilities, but they bought it in 2013. So even no matter what they do, at best, currently they break even. And most of them actually, if they bought it in 2013, they actually decrease in value. This is because of the property cycle, right? So what has happened over the last few years is because there's a lot of demand, sudden demand. People keep buying and buying and buying, and so the government is now very concerned with this sudden spike in price. So in order to really regulate this, to make it safer, they have to cool down this hot demand. And therefore last year in July 2018, suddenly a big, very giant cooling measure is implemented, 5%, and caused a lot of investors to lose confidence in the market and be more concerned and afraid to enter right now. Right? But does that mean that we are actually a market that is decreasing? It's not actually, because why? When you have the only reason why the government wants to cool down the market is because the property prices is going up too high, too fast. And so with all these cooling measures, right, what we're expecting to see is an increase in the property cycle. Meaning, instead of you seeing in the past every 3 years you see a change, you're probably looking at 6 years one change. So I give you an example. If last time it used to be maybe say from year 1, year 3 it goes up, year 7 it goes down, then after another year 10 it goes up, and then year 14 it goes down. This is 2 property cycles, right? You see property up and down 2 times. But with all these cooling measures, right, the price increase is now a little bit more steadier, and hopefully with the intention of reducing these two property cycles into one. So what you see is instead of up, down, you see just one up, down, that's all. You see? So with that same period of time, you have only one property cycle. What does this mean for you and me as an investor? Right? It means that you are in a much safer position. You will not see so much volatility, like a very crazy up and down, but maybe there will be still up and down because of the property cycle, but it's more gradual. And it's a longer time as well. So you see, now it becomes safer because you won't see your property from 1 million drop until like 800,000. You won't see things like that anymore. Maybe drop 50,000 and then after increase 50,000. And the next 2 years later, right, you increase another 50,000. But it's in the government's benefit to increase this property cycle so that it doesn't have so much volatility.
But I believe people will want to know when is the right time to enter, you know?
Yes, correct. So when do you think is a right time to enter? Really boils down to back to our first video, right, which is the supply and demand. Now, when developers purchase properties, it's always what we call an en bloc fever. When they see the developers are smart, they have many analysts, really intelligent people studying the entire market, and they are big on organizations that will not be wrong for the most of the time, especially those big launches, giant developments, right? So when they study deeply into the market, they realize that okay, we are going to face a demand crunch, a supply crunch, where we have not enough supply. That's when they start buying land a lot. Many developers start buying land. So in Singapore, it's very unique because we have a period of time, a 5 years period, when developer has to sell everything. So they are not allowed to do land banking, right? So this means that when there is a supply crunch, all the developers buy together. When they buy together, right, in a year's time, do you think that they will have to launch together? They have to, because they buy together. Let's say in 2017 and 18, that's when all the developers buy, correct? And this year, what you're seeing is all the developers start to sell at the same time. So that's why in 2019, this year, we are seeing 62 different launches all around Singapore. This means a new launch every week. Every week. Can you imagine 600, 800 or even 1,000, like even in Tampines, there's a development that has 2,000 over units. A week. Every week there are developments like that being sold. So, do you see a sudden increase in supply? Are the demand the same? It's not.
No.
So let me ask you a question. If you are the developer, right? If you have so many competitors selling at the same time as you, but there's only so little people buying, do you think you dare to sell at high price?
No.
You're definitely not there to sell at high price because if you sell at high price, nobody buy from you. And then you need to compete with all the other developers. So at this moment, this year in 2019, is a time where we have developers oversupply and a lack of demand, and therefore with that lack of demand, right, do you think the price is very, very good? It's in a very correct price because all the developers are competing for you and saying, please buy from me, I will give you discounts. And this will not happen, you know, because sooner or later, right, the demand will come. And when these same developers are left with 10%, 20%, but the demand increase more and more, right? More and more people need houses, right? What happens is that developers will start increasing the price, right? Because now, in 5 years' time, right, it's going to be the other side already. It will be a lot of people, please leave this unit for me, you know? Yeah, because the developers will be like, oh, I'm sorry, this is the only one left. If you want it, you have to buy at this price.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it. Because there are another 10, 20 people queuing up for this particular unit. This was going to happen in 4 to 5 years' time. So the question to you is this: do you want to be in a position where you are seated comfortably, choosing among 60 new launches, 随便你选? Or do you want to be the person, right, in 5 years' time, sitting there and, oh my god, I have to faster put in this check before this is the last unit already. If I don't buy this, there's nothing left. Right? So it's really about positioning. You know? When is it a good time to enter the market?
Yeah.
And for us as well, will we be actively marketing new developments in 5 years' time? I don't think so.
Yeah.
You know why? Because those people that have bought at this stage, in 5 years' time, both of us are going to be selling those properties. Because they made profit already.
Yeah.
You know? So it's in a way, we also have to think about our strategy on who is it best to serve. Right? As of now, it is a buyer's market. Buyers get to choose. In 5 years' time, it's going to be a seller's market where sellers get to choose. Right? If you want my house, you gotta pay me 50k extra. You know? And that's when those people have taken action, right, would definitely benefit in time to come.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah? Does it sound good?
Sound good. Let's go and buy right now.
Yeah. In fact, there are many agents that did already. So it's a good time.
Okay.
Yes?
I'll go look for one.
Also, I hope that this is beneficial. We talked a little bit about property cycle. In summary, about how our property cycle, instead of every 3 to 7 years we complete one cycle, it's now a longer period of time. We're looking at 10 to even 14 years to complete a cycle. And this makes investment in property a much safer environment for everyone. So in a way, I felt that what the government did for this cooling measure is a great thing. It's a great thing. It's the only, can you imagine if they didn't put these cooling measures, right? Prices will just go up, right? And people like you and me, right, would never be able to access.
Cannot afford.
Yeah, it'd be like Hong Kong. Hong Kong has a small, like 63 square feet houses, right? It's like 20,000 PSF.
Per square feet.
20,000 PSF. And Singapore, the highest recorded is probably around like maybe 4,000 PSF. We're way behind. We're way behind. So our property prices is actually really cheap. You know, if you think about absolute value terms.
Correct. Okay, so don't wait faster go and buy already. call him also can.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys prefer to speak to a lady like her, right?
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed the video today. See you. Bye bye.
See you.